What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on the situation with Adam 22 and him recently coming out and saying that he's going broke, right? So Adam 22 has been caught up in some of the the controversy and stuff that's going on with those guys over in LA. What is it? Whack 100, Big U, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and all those guys. And so recently, after that, Adam 22 says that he's going broke. Well, No Jumper is going broke, and he's going to have to downsize. And he says that part of the reason why he's downsizing is because he invested too much money in a property that they recently bought, like during COVID, and he thought that maybe because their things had turned good for them and their views and all of that stuff was up, so he wanted to have a larger studio. So he invested $4 million in getting a larger studio so he could have more editors and just expand the business and put out a lot of content, right? So he said, but since then things have kind of fallen off for them, and they and so now he needs to downsize. And so a lot of people had something to say about the fact that now at this time Adam 22 comes forward and says that it's time he need to downsize because some of his investments are not panning out the way he thought they would. And one of the people that came out and said that Adam 22 spoke on the Adam 22 situation was Tasha K. And she basically said that that's like the financial end of it is only one part of it, and another part of it is the fact that Adam 22 is caught up in this controversy with those gangs out in LA, right? And so now she's saying that either he is, he's in between like the police on one side and the gang members on the other side. And then so maybe Adam 22 may be feeling like he is not really safe in that area where he is. She also said that the police or the authorities are putting pressure on Adam 22 to to move out of that area because it attracts some shady characters to the property, and maybe the other people in that area, renters and or property owners, may not feel safe with the kind of crowd that Adam 22 he attracts. And so I think Tasha K, in my opinion, I think she hit it on the head more more so than I heard other people. I know I listened to the guy, I think his name Poetic Flacco. And to me, Poetic Flacco, he seems like he's kind of trying to cover for Adam 22 and try to go along with the narrative that Adam 22 is putting out there. He doesn't even touch on some of the things that Tasha K brought up, like about the police and stuff like that, and maybe the neighbors, the people and other business owners in that area don't feel safe with the kind of crowd that he's attracting, right? And I understand that Poetic Flacco is somebody who works for Adam 22. So it's only natural that, he's going to stick to the script when it comes to Adam 22. But even from the jump, when I heard that Adam 22 was cutting back because No Jumper wasn't, it wasn't making any money like he said, and going broke. First thing came to my mind was the fact that it's very convenient now for him to wind it down now because of the what he had got going on with Whack 100 and all those guys. That's a dangerous situation that he's in, even though he may not feel like he has directly snitched on none of those guys or something like that. But if Adam 22 don't go with the narrative, there are certain people over in that area want him to go with, then his safety could be at risk. I've been watching Adam, what's the other guy? Academics. And Academics been speaking on Whack 100 and stuff like that. And some of the interviews with Whack 100 and Academic has become contentious, right? Because certain narratives Whack 100 don't want out there. But Academics continue to kind of like focus on certain narratives. And like these guys, Adam 22 and Whack 100, they keep thinking that they are civilians and that these guys, like if somebody get into a desperate situation and they think that you're trying to put a narrative out there about them that they don't like, that like things can't go bad for these guys because they think that they are civilians, right? At least I get that I get that impression more so from Academics than I do Adam 22 or even the guy, what's the guy named Vlad. I think Vlad, and that's kind of odd. Like the two white guys are kind of a little bit more cautious than Academics. I don't know why Academics don't think that, like this situation for him can't go south. He really seems to have bought into the narrative that he is a civilian, But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, with Adam 22, I don't think it's the fact that he's going broke. I think Adam 22 is feeling the heat from not only law enforcement over there, but also he's feeling the heat from the situation created by, Whack 100 and Loose Cannon. He know that if he continues to do, to do those type of shows that he's doing, things might get out of hand, and he don't want to be in a situation where he get caught up, you know, it get caught up in a bad situation with those guys. So I think that what he's going to do, he's going to probably start to probably cut back on doing business with those guys over there, and just really, because like I said, his safety could be in it could really be in jeopardy when you're doing business with those guys in those gangs and stuff like that. Tasha K really, in my opinion, she really hit on it when she said that, like the police, he got the police breathing down his neck on one side, and then he has those, he got guys like Whack 100 on the other side. And so I think Adam 22 probably is a little bit shook up right now, reevaluating, uh, like what direction he should go in. But he definitely knows that he don't want to keep continuing to put out the same kind of content he's putting out with Whack 100. This situation with these guys, it's it's entertainment to people who get to just watch it. You get to just watch it on YouTube and stuff like that. That's entertainment. But if you get, if other than that, for those guys, it's a lot of tension because Whack 100 right now is in a situation where he needs to control the narrative. He don't want certain narratives out there about, put out there about him. And it seems to me like Whack 100 might think that he's probably losing like some control over the narrative. He kind of get frustrated when Adam 22 asks him certain questions. And the same thing with Academics. Like if Academics ask him certain questions, he kind of get frustrated because you know he needs to control that narrative so he don't look like he's a snitch, or he don't look like he's somebody who's working with the police, or either he don't want them to connect him to no crimes or anything, so he don't get pulled in with with Big U and Whack and what's the other guy named Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. He don't want to get pulled in, with those guys because some people might see what he's doing as snitching, and then things won't be going good for him either. So I think the main reason Adam 22 he's cutting back his staff and he's cutting his shows and stuff like that. I think the reason is because he he realizes that this type of content that he's putting out has really put him in a tough situation, and it's probably, I don't know if it's run its course. I think there's always there's a market for this type of content. This true crime type confidence. It's almost like a reality type situation, reality show. You get to watch these guys come on and talk about some things that they done did, in real time. So, but like I said, it can also be a dangerous situation. And I think that like Tasha K said, that Adam 22 is starting to feel the heat from the police, and he's feeling the heat from the other side from guys like Whack 100. And so yeah, that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.